Alright, now I need to do an event log. Now the problem with that is going to be basically that I took out any interactions that we had. So we had a few interactions previously. I took them out. So, you know, there's nothing to really interact with. So I think I'll take care of that with two things. One will be I'll have an initial event, and then I'll have entry events into the room. So that will require some additional stuff in there for our different things, but you know, we'll be fine. So the first thing we need is for the dude is going to need messages class. Actually, the dude doesn't need one, so we might want at this point to fork off the dude. Maybe make a daughter class for the dude for just the player. So the player would have extra stuff on top of what every other creature would have, but no reason to do that right now. We can do that later, because you know, no goblins or orcs or rats need to get the flavor text, right? So we just need messages self-owner. This is just going to be owned really by the dude, and self-messages equals blank. And self-maximum equals max, and self-owner equals owner. And so let's say max equals 20. So there are 20 maximums. There's a maximum of 20 messages in the queue right now. If there are more than 20, then we'll just get rid of the last one, or the first one. So how should I do this? I should, if I'm going to just keep printing them, probably I should doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter if I go back from top to bottom or bottom to top. So I'll probably what I'll have to do is I'll have to actually save the output, save the drawing of the message. Is that really true? Probably not. We don't use messages a lot, but we'll keep that in mind just in case we need it later. If it looks like it's slow as well, we can speed this up other ways with memory instead. Let's see. Let's just append messages. Message self.messages plus equals. Well, we don't want plus equals dot append message. If self messages is greater than self maximum, let's see, self messages dot remove self messages 0. maybe I can index that. I can do the pop, obviously. I can just do self messages pop 0. And I don't need to use it. And so that'll be fine. We can live with that. Anything else we need right now? No, we're going to have to do a view eventually. Self.messages or self viewer equals viewer. Message log self. All right. So what does the dude know? He knows his square. Okay, great. So let's see. Square equals self.owner.get square. This is a little complicated. Map equals self equals square.get map, or is that get owner? The map doesn't know the owner. Oh, we can get the board, right? Okay. Let's see, what does the board know? So we'll need to get a self def get size self return self x self y. Okay. Size equals, okay, that should be the board. Board.get size 0. Oh, let's say width. Why does it do that? Self width. Okay, see, it needs to know how wide it is for writing the messages. I won't bother with formatting to make sure they fit. We'll just, take it from the bottom and count up. Let's see. Def get message self index return self messages index def get messages self return list self messages. That lists self messages because otherwise it'll return the pointer to the list for this guy, We don't want that to happen, because then whatever you're doing in the other class that's pulled those messages, then you're using those messages. Return length self messages. Okay, so the self viewer is a message log. We're calling it that. So we need a message log. Class message log def init self owner width self owner equals owner, self width equals width. Def view self return self messages. We'll just do well, we've got two different things we need to do. Two possible things we need to do. We need either to have a truncated messages or large messages. So I'll probably just do the truncated ones for now. Write messages self. Basically, we should create a brand new board each time because we'll be clearing it out, right? The other option would be to push it up just enough for each new message, and I considered that, but that doesn't allow me to select it. Later, I could selectively pull out messages, right? Leave important ones in and pull out other ones. It's probably not important. Okay, so the size has got to be the width. And the Y size is, I don't know, 200. Okay, we'll go with that. And we don't want to do that. Oh, do I not have a... Okay, so I want to have something like this. Just a black message board is fine. For message in self owner.get messages. Well, we want to do a PG screen print. Next equals there are things I shouldn't be doing here. So this is the wrong place. This is the wrong place. Okay, here's where I want it to be. out.fill 000. Let's see. Then for message in self.messages or self.owner.getMessages. In length self.owner.get messages equals self.owner.get messages. Okay, so for I in length messages, j equals -I, or message equals messages -1 times I. So that'll give me the that'll go backwards through my messages. Let's use next here, and we'll use message equals this is probably the way you do it in Python. Next equals gc screen print message just takes X and Y, right? I need a screen out message position. All right. Message comma 0 comma. I just want everything on the left justified comma Y. Okay, so Y equals 200. What I'd like to do is I'd like to actually make a much larger message screen, and then when the player presses M or something like that, capital M or something, then you get to see the entire screen. Otherwise, you just see the smaller screen, the most recent messages. All right, so Y minus equals 20, let's say, and 18 will be the font size, maybe? I think font size is next? Yes. Okay, so it just goes through and does that. And self messages equals out. Okay. Okay, so I can't actually do out here. I need self messages. So we get the self messages, I think. Let's see. All right, let's go to viewer. Okay, actually, we're not looking at the viewer, right? The model is drawing the viewer. There's a map drawing the viewer. $720. Okay, now the viewer is owned by the game loop. So move the map up. The map, I think, is five, 3. Map. Does he know the player? He does know the player. Good. So self log equals self player.get view messages. Okay, and once we have that, we have self.screen.blit log. We'll start with that. Okay. So let's see. Where's the dude? Messages equals messages self. Okay. Self add message. Welcome to the game. Let's see. Def add message self message. Or did I do that? Add message self dot messages dot append message. Okay, let's see how badly that broke. Square, you're not supposed to get the board of a square. Alright. Square has no attribute board. Oh, self map dot get board. So we have to run through that chain. Break. Okay, message log is not defined. What did I call it? What? No, I mean, it's in game view, right? Doesn't seem to be change. Oh, it's game view message log. Oh, fun with spelling errors. Break. Dude has no view messages. Where's my dude? Okay, well, at least it's not broken. Gets through a bunch of stuff, but it doesn't actually output. Okay, so possibly in a moment it'll work. Okay, for me it's been a while, so let's see. I was just running this and not getting my message thing out. So let's do the first thing, which is print, what did I call this? Message log view. Just to make sure it's getting to that spot. Now, I think I added a message, welcome to the dungeon, right? Okay, I've got the message log view in there. It's going to the view, message log. Okay, so that's fine. Comma self messages. So I'm trying to guess what the issues might be. All right, and it's returning a surface. Okay, so we're okay with that. It's returning a surface here, right? So that means that we have something coming out. Let's see how big it is. How big it is an important thing for us. Let me go down here and make sure. So I didn't do anything here that would tell it to be empty or boring or anything like that. Let's see. It's 140 by 100. 140 by 100 should show up. Let's look up here. Let's just make sure. 800 by 600. And we're dropping the thing off at 198. Okay, so that viewer, it should be 800. Okay, so I don't understand why it's coming out at 140. So I'm going to change the width to 800. I'll just manually make the width 800 here rather than self width. We can figure out why what I'm putting in that's wrong. Maybe I'm putting in the number of tiles or something like that. That could be. The map shouldn't really know. Yeah, okay, so there it is. That's what I want. I don't have any messages on it. We're okay. I really want that thing to be 200 tall, right? So that's what I thought. Width 200 and we'll just leave this at 63. No, we don't want it at 63. All right, let's make it blue so we know what's going on. Okay, now nothing's getting printed to it, printed on it. That's no good. We'd like it to print something on it. Print message log dot write messages. And see if it ever actually writes any messages. And the message just never got written, so I never do a write message call. Now, I don't know why that is. It's got to be somewhere here in the model. All right. Just do self.write messages. Oh no, self.messages. .write messages. It's probably not the right spot. I just want to make sure that it writes. I don't really want to rewrite this, redo this every cycle, right? So this is. So, we won't do it every cycle, right? I'll just change that. We only care. A message can only change if as it moves, right? So, as the something happens to the dude. So, we'll have to write messages elsewhere. Welcome to the game, right? There we go. Welcome to the game. We're okay with that. That's a good spot for it. Let's modify this. So what we can do is we can make this as big as the entire screen, right? Go all the way up to the top and just have the bottom stick here, so we only have the last messages showing up. And then later on we can have a full screen message thing that can take over if we want to look at what all the old messages are. So come in here. Let's see. So actually what we'd like to do is to have this come up here. Let's see, like 200, 0. And this is a 600 pixel screen, so let's switch this thing to 600. And tools go. And that's not enough. Oh yeah, so it's actually 720. So usually you'll see fewer than okay, 720, too big. Too big. I thought it was 720 because it said 720, but apparently that's too large. Unless this is going 200 minus. Let's see. Could be doing 200 minus, not self messages. Okay, so we want this to be 720. Okay. So that's going to have to, at some point, get fixed up so that it's not not coming from anywhere else. So there, the messages are below you, right there. Now let's load that up. Hopefully we can get like 6 lines in here, right? Let's see how many lines we actually see. So in my dude, when I initialized, I got the welcome to the game, right? So let's just try 2, 3. I think I put the stuff in here so that I don't have that it'll just print an integer. I could be wrong. I made that for a class I was teaching a long time ago, several years ago. So ideally I would have done it so that it would be student proof. Is it? Yes, it is. Okay, that's odd. That's odd. So I put welcome to the game 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, right? Yet, so what you'd want is for it to do, you'd actually want 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in there, right? So you want welcome to the game to be the first thing in, so that would be the last thing printed, so that would be on top. So the 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 makes sense. It's the welcome to the game that I don't like. Right? So I want the bottom one to be the last one that was put in the queue. So So comma I times -1, and we'll get rid of that other code with message log write messages. And the other one, we don't need the size anymore. Tools go, dot dungeon go. So I can't tell, right? I cannot tell from this what's going on. So I have to stop it. Go my game view. Print a space. And go. I guess I better stop. It's going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's the reason why. That's the problem right there. That means I'm going to have to do something clever. I don't like doing clever things. That usually doesn't work out. Okay, so let's see what clever things we can do. Okay, so j equals I minus 1 times I if j is greater than length messages, j equals 0. So hopefully that will improve things. Let's see. That did it right. That's the right way to do it. So we're okay. Possibly I should have changed these text things. So we are okay. We've got what I could call a victory if I wanted to. Now we need to do a couple of things to fix it up, I guess. Alright, so like I said, we only really... Okay, so I'd like to do something with the sizes. I'm not sure how to play with the sizes. I'll have to figure out how to do that at a later date. Let's see, the message log itself seems to be working more or less the way I want it to. So what I need to do is I need to add 2 spots. One, I want the I want this call. Where did that call go? The dump call here to get shoved into the move. Okay. So so probably right in here, right? So this does the update, it does the move, so we probably want the self owner dot refresh messages. Okay. Obviously the dude does not currently have a refresh messages, so refresh messages self. Okay, let's see. Now, let's see if that will do what I want it to do. Right now, that move thing doesn't get called probably at the beginning. Let's see if it... I wasn't watching. I wasn't watching. So, okay, yeah. Right now, the viewer doesn't have any messages because it hasn't been there hasn't been any message dump to it. When it moves, now there's a message dump. So, whenever it moves, there will now be a message dump to the game viewer. We can, at the message log, just do a print message log dot view, just to tell us that that's true. Now, I'd also like to test that we can do things as the guy wanders through, as the dude wanders through the dungeon. but I took all the interesting things out. So let's see. Oh, the message log view keeps on going. But is that okay? Message log view is just return the old thing. So what I care about is the right messages. So message log view just pulls out the old message thing, the old screen, so it doesn't do anything new. It doesn't do any actual calculations. Now, according to this, oh, it did all the right messages as it moved each time in that update. That's actually fine, because things might happen in the background that we might want to add messages for. If that's the case, we'll want to add those messages as they happen. So that's all right. Next thing, let's see, we can get rid of, in the game model, everything but the welcome to the dungeon. We like the welcome to the dungeon. We don't like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now, what we could do is have rooms have a... Where's my rooms? I had rooms at one point. I made rooms. Way up here. Way up at the top. Map maker, tile, square room. So I don't want the squares, each square to have a... they could have a message. Blank. All right. And then we have a self-visited equals false. Let's see. Add square, add exit, get squares. Okay. Nope, don't want it after the string. We want it before the string. After the string. We don't want it before the string. Def set message, self message, flavor string for room. And we could add something later on like a counter so that things would count down. Random events so that one time, every once in a while, maybe you'd feel a random breeze coming through the room or something like that. For no particular reason, but to freak the character out, freak the player out. Self message equals message. And blank message probably is the best default. Get message self if self.visited return else self.visited equals true, return self message. Okay. This way the room keeps track of whether or not the player's been there, and if he hasn't been there, he gets a message. That might not be the right thing, so we might want to def examine self return self message. There you go. So when they examine the room, it'll give the flavor text. This room looks like a blah 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 with the blah 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 who did the blah blah. Flavor text, good, we like it. Fine. Unfortunately, that has nothing to do with that now the square does not have a message yet. Right now we don't care. Def get message self if self.room return self.room.get message, right? Else return blank. Okay. And then if we come down here to move, all right, and if square.get, can't do that, message equals square.get message. I can't do what I was about to do because if I try to do it twice, I won't get the message, right? So if message self.owner. Inform message. Okay, I'll inform the owner of a message. Unless I already have add message. I like inform better. Oh wait, he does have a list of messages, so wait, no. Messages is not a list, messages is a thing, so inform adds a message to the message queue for the player. And let's see if that breaks things. Okay, so far it doesn't break things, but none of the rooms have messages. So that should be something that we put in the text for the room, or in the description of the different kinds of rooms, and whatever room we choose this room to be, and things like that. Is this a midden? Is it stinky? Does it smell like? Is it a kitchen? Does it smell like roast beef? Whatever. That's something for the quest or another part of the game. But somewhere in here, we have a map maker function, which I guess is up here. And we've got add rooms. So do we actually probably want to do that in the zone? The zones are for stories, right? Zones are for stories. So zones get to control messages. So zone, self-room, self-random, blah, blah. Append a new room. Okay, so actually the rooms are getting added elsewhere. Self dot. Okay, and we have to let's add some data, which are our messages. This is the entrance to the dungeon. This is a small, breezy room. We need to do something where we could add interesting things. This room looks nice. Don't rent this room. Okay, so those are our options. Now what we need to do is we need to randomly upload them. Alright, so got all those. Apparently the zone has been sent a random number. Let's see. Self dot message equals self dot random dot choose from the data. Probably should be choose from, but I'm sort of mimicking the random packages thing. So self.room.add message. Or maybe it was set message. Message. Okay. And was that what I did up here? Get message, room get message. Set message. Okay, perfect. Okay, so hopefully that sets some messages. Now, let's go down here. Self-random new, right? Oh, wait. Function not... parentheses, not brackets. And this is new. Okay, let's see. This is the entrance to the dungeon. Good. I didn't tell it to do that. So let's see if we go to another room if it gives us another message. And we keep on going. I need to smooth out the movement. And this is a breezy room. Alright. Isn't that nice? Breezy rooms are slow. And go to the other room. What does the next room say? This room looks nice. Don't rent this room. Okay, that's bad. But that just has to do with how I set up the Are there only 3 rooms? Did I miss a turn? There's got to be one straight down from this room. No, it looks like there are only 3 rooms. Okay. If there's a 4th one, it's not connected and I don't know about it. I can't see it. Oh. Alright, other than I'm not exactly sure what's going on with this particular room, with this particular zone. There might be an additional room that doesn't show up for some reason. Other than that, it seems like everything's hunky-dory. Right? The script works the way it should. So there's got to be a comma there. All right. Surprised that didn't throw an error, but it didn't, so we're okay. All right. So there you go. That is the event log. We now have an event log. And next we have to improve the quest system, which probably means bringing the monsters back. Oh no. And figuring out what to do with them. Maybe we'll make a bat or something and we can watch it fly around. Yeah, I'm not sure. That might be a long one. That might be a long one. Because I think it's about time to start playing with files. I don't like that idea any more than you do, but I think it's probably about time to start playing with files. All right, that is it for now.